Time does not knock on your door with warning. It enters your life softly, like breath, like heartbeat, giving you 24 hours wrapped in possibility. In 2026, the world will move faster, louder, and more demanding. But hear me when I say this: no one has been given more time than you. The powerful and the weary wake to the same sunrise. What separates them is not luck, not talent, not privilege. It is how they honor the hours they are handed. Today is not just another day to survive. It is a sacred invitation to choose who you are becoming. And if you listen closely, you will discover that your 24 hours are not limiting you. They are waiting for you to lead them. Time has never stood in your way. It has never whispered doubt into your ear or placed fear in your path. Time simply stands still enough to observe. It watches how you rise when the world feels heavy. It watches how you hesitate when you know you are meant to move. Every hour you are given is not judging you, but it is recording you. In 2026, time will not ask you who you wish you had been. It will quietly show you who you chose to be. We often speak of time as if it is chasing us, stealing from us, running ahead while we struggle to catch our breath. But time does not run, we do. We scatter ourselves across distractions, obligations, and the expectations of others, then wonder why our days feel empty. Time is not cruel, it is honest. It reflects back the truth of our priorities, where you place your attention, your energy, your courage. Time remembers all of it. Every minute becomes a witness to your choices. When you delay your dreams, time sees that hesitation. When you honor your purpose, time sees that courage too. It notices when you silence your inner voice and when you finally let it speak. You may forget the small moments, but time does not. It carries them forward, shaping tomorrow with the quiet weight of today. In this new year, managing your hours is not about filling every moment with motion. It is about intention. It is about deciding what deserves to live inside your day. Some hours are meant for growth, some for rest, some for healing, and some for bold action. When you respect that balance, time stops feeling like pressure and begins to feel like partnership. You do not need to conquer the day. You need to inhabit it. Be present in the work that matters. Be gentle in the moments that require patience. Be brave when fear asks you to shrink. Each choice, no matter how small, is being witnessed and woven into the story of your life. The hours do not rush past you. They wait for you to decide how they will be used. One day you will look back and wonder how the years moved so quickly, and time will answer without words. It will show you the mornings you chose discipline over delay, the evenings you chose rest over exhaustion, and the moments you chose yourself when it would have been easier to disappear. Time does not reward intention alone. It rewards action repeated with care. So as you step into 2026, remember this: time is not your enemy, and it is not your excuse. It is your witness. Let it see you living with purpose. Let it see you honoring your energy. Let it see you growing, resting, and rising again. When time tells your story, make sure it speaks of courage, clarity, and a life lived on purpose. You are given 24 hours, and none of them arrive carrying excuses. They do not come explaining your past, your pain, or your delays. They simply arrive, clean and complete, asking one quiet question: what will you do with me? In 2026, the days will not slow down for uncertainty. They will not wait for perfect conditions. They will move forward whether you are ready or not, and they will carry the weight of your choices into the life you are building. Excuses often dress themselves as reasons. They sound gentle, almost convincing. They say tomorrow will be better, later will be easier, someday will be safer. But time has never been impressed by someday. It listens only to today. Every hour you postpone your growth, time records the pause. Every hour you choose courage, it records that too. The future is not shaped by intention alone. It is written by what you repeatedly do, when no one is watching. You may believe that your circumstances decide how your hours unfold, but it is your decisions that give them meaning. Two people can wake up to the same morning and live completely different lives by nightfall. One chooses movement, the other delay. One chooses discipline, the other comfort. Time gives both the same gift, but only one unwraps it. The future notices who did. When you spend your hours explaining why you cannot begin, you quietly teach yourself that your dreams can wait. When you spend them acting despite fear, you teach yourself that growth is possible. Time does not respond to excuses because excuses do not build anything. They do not strengthen your character. They do not move your purpose forward. They only soften the urgency of now. There will be days when motivation feels distant and strength feels thin. Those days still arrive with 24 hours intact. You do not need perfection to use them well. You need honesty. You need to admit where you are and still choose one small action that aligns with where you want to go. Time respects effort more than explanation. Each choice you make today travels ahead of you. It waits in the future as a result, a consequence, a reward, or a lesson. The life you step into months from now is already being prepared by how you treat this very day. You are writing your future before you arrive there, sentence by sentence, hour by hour. So in 2026, stop negotiating with time. Stop asking it for mercy or understanding. It has already given you everything it can give. Instead, meet your hours with responsibility. Meet them with courage. Let your actions speak so clearly that excuses have no room to sit. One day, when you finally arrive at the future you once dreamed of, you will not thank your excuses for protecting you. You will thank the moments you chose to act anyway. Time will simply nod in quiet agreement, having witnessed it all. Morning does not arrive as a habit, it arrives as a promise. It is the first gentle offering of the day, untouched and undecided, waiting to see how you will meet it. When you open your eyes, you are not just waking up, you are answering a question. Will you rise with intention, or will you drift back into yesterday's patterns? The way you greet the morning quietly shapes the courage you carry through the rest of your hours. Too often, mornings are rushed past, or wasted on worry. We wake already tired, already behind, already surrendering the day before it has a chance to speak. But the morning is not asking for speed, it is asking for presence. It is asking you to stand in that first light and remember that you are still here, still breathing, still capable of choosing differently. How you rise is how you announce yourself to life. When you rise with care, the day listens. When you rise with discipline, the day aligns. This does not mean every morning must be perfect or powerful. Some mornings you rise heavy, carrying doubts, carrying unfinished dreams. Still, rising matters. Even when your steps are slow, choosing to stand up with purpose teaches your spirit that it will not be abandoned. The first hour of your day teaches your mind what to expect from you. If you meet it with intention, your confidence grows quietly. If you meet it with avoidance, hesitation follows you like a shadow. Morning is when you set the tone, not with grand gestures, but with small, honest decisions, to breathe before reacting, to move before doubting, to choose yourself before the world begins asking for pieces of you. There is power in how you begin. When you rise without rushing, you remind yourself that you are not owned by urgency. When you rise with gratitude, you remind yourself that life is still offering you something. When you rise with focus, you give direction to your energy instead of letting it scatter. The morning is your chance to claim your day before distractions claim you. In 2026, the world will demand your attention early and loudly. It will pull at you before you are fully awake. But remember this, the morning belongs to you first. It is the only part of the day that arrives before expectations, before comparisons, before noise. How you protect that space determines how boldly you move through the rest of your hours. You do not rise to impress the world. You rise to align with yourself. Each morning is a quiet agreement between who you are and who you are becoming. When you honor that agreement, you walk into the day steadier, clearer, stronger. The courage you show at sunrise echoes through your choices until nightfall. So tomorrow, rise with intention. Rise knowing that the way you stand up today will shape the way you stand through challenges later. Morning is not routine, it is renewal. And every time you rise with purpose, you remind life that you are ready to live it fully. Before you protect your schedule, you must protect your energy, because a calendar filled with plans means nothing if your spirit is exhausted. You can arrange every hour with precision and still feel empty if you have given your best strength to things that do not nourish you. Energy is the currency of your life. Where it goes, your life follows. In 2026, success will not belong to the busiest people, but to the most aware ones. A tired soul cannot build a powerful life. Fatigue does not always come from doing too much. Often it comes from doing too much of what does not matter. When you say yes to everything, you quietly say no to yourself. Time does not only get wasted by idleness, it is also drained by emotional overload, constant comparison, and conversations that leave you smaller than you were before. Your energy leaks long before your schedule breaks. You must learn to listen to what drains you and what restores you. Some tasks sharpen your focus, while others dull your spirit. Some people inspire your growth, while others quietly consume your peace. Managing your hours without managing your energy is like pouring water into a cracked vessel. No matter how much you add, it never feels full. Protecting your energy is not selfish. It is survival. In a world that celebrates overworking, rest is often mistaken for weakness. But rest is not quitting, it is refueling. When you pause with intention, you return stronger, clearer, and more grounded. Your mind needs silence as much as it needs stimulation. Your body needs care as much as it needs effort. When you ignore these needs, time becomes a burden instead of a gift. Energy protection begins with boundaries. Boundaries are not walls. They are doors you choose when to open. You do not owe everyone access to your time, your thoughts, or your emotional space. Every boundary you set is a quiet declaration that your life has value. When you guard your energy, you guard your future. There will be days when you feel pulled in every direction, when the world demands more than you feel able to give. On those days, remember that slowing down is not falling behind. Choosing rest over burnout is not failure. It is wisdom. It is the decision to last, not just to perform. In 2026, let your energy lead your schedule, not the other way around. Plan your days around what strengthens you, not just what pressures you. Make room for silence, for movement, for reflection. Make room for the things that remind you why you started. When your energy is protected, your hours become purposeful. Your actions become deliberate. Your life begins to feel aligned instead of rushed. Time stops feeling like an enemy and starts feeling like an ally. And from that place of strength, not exhaustion, you will build a life that does not just look powerful, but truly is. Discipline is often misunderstood as punishment, as restriction, as something cold and demanding. But discipline is not about denying yourself joy. It is about deciding that your future deserves care. Every time you choose what matters over what is easy, you are telling yourself that your life has value. Discipline is self-respect in motion. It is the quiet way you show up for yourself when no one is watching and no applause is waiting. When you manage your time with discipline, you are not being harsh. You are being honest. You are admitting that your dreams cannot survive on wishful thinking alone. Love without action fades, and so do intentions without structure. Discipline gives shape to your hopes. It turns your promises to yourself into habits, and your habits into a life that reflects who you truly are. There will be moments when comfort calls louder than purpose. The bed feels warmer than ambition. Distraction feels kinder than focus. In those moments, discipline is not force, it is remembrance. It reminds you why you began. It reminds you that the life you want is built in ordinary hours, not in moments of inspiration. Choosing discipline is choosing to honor your own word. Managing time becomes an act of self-love when you stop filling your days with avoidance. When you show up on time for your own goals, you send a powerful message inward. I matter. When you follow through, even when it is uncomfortable, you teach yourself trust, and trust in yourself is the foundation of confidence. Discipline strengthens that trust one decision at a time. This does not mean every day will feel strong or focused. Some days, discipline looks like rest. Some days, it looks like starting again after failure. Self-respect is not perfection. It is consistency with compassion. Discipline allows room for mistakes without allowing excuses to take control. It helps you stand back up without shame and continue forward with clarity. When you respect your time, you respect your energy, your boundaries, and your future. You stop negotiating with distractions that steal your hours. You stop abandoning yourself for temporary comfort. Discipline helps you say no to what weakens you so you can say yes to what strengthens you. That is not restriction, it is freedom. In 2026, the world will reward those who can manage themselves before trying to manage everything else. Discipline will be your anchor when motivation fades. It will be the steady hand that guides your hours toward meaning instead of regret. Loving yourself out loud does not require announcements. It requires action. Every disciplined choice is a vote for the person you are becoming. Every focused hour is proof that you believe in your own potential. When you manage your time with respect, your life begins to reflect that respect back to you. Discipline does not make life smaller. It makes it intentional. And a life lived with intention is one that stands tall, grounded, and unafraid to grow. Too many of your hours are being leased out without your consent. You wake up already owing pieces of your day to expectations you did not choose, demands you did not create, and priorities that do not serve the life you are trying to build. You give your best energy to deadlines, opinions, and noise, and then you wonder why your own dreams feel distant and tired. It is not because you lack ability, it is because you have been renting out sacred time that was meant to belong to you. Other people's priorities are loud. They arrive with urgency, with pressure, with the promise that everything is important right now. And slowly, quietly, you begin to believe them. You begin to rearrange your day around what others need, while what you need waits patiently in the corner. Dreams do not disappear all at once. They fade when they are postponed too often. They weaken when they are treated as optional. Time notices that neglect. When you give your hours away too easily, you teach yourself that your vision can wait. You teach yourself that your purpose is flexible, disposable, negotiable. But your dreams were not meant to survive on leftovers. They were meant to live in the center of your day, not in the cracks between exhaustion and obligation. If you do not protect space for what matters to you, nothing else will do it for you. This does not mean you stop caring for others or fulfilling responsibilities. It means you stop disappearing in the process. There is a difference between generosity and self-erasure. When your entire schedule is shaped by what others want, your life begins to feel borrowed instead of lived. Time becomes crowded, but fulfillment remains absent. You are busy, yet unfulfilled, present, yet unseen by yourself. Your dreams deserve rent-free space in your day. They should not have to justify their presence or wait until you are less tired, less busy, less needed. The future you want is built by what you consistently make room for now. Even small protected moments matter. An hour reclaimed, a boundary held, a choice made in favor of your growth instead of your guilt. There will be discomfort when you begin to reclaim your hours. Some people will not understand your boundaries. Some expectations will resist change. But remember this, the life you are building requires your participation. You cannot fully show up for your purpose while constantly abandoning it for approval. Saying no to what drains you is saying yes to what defines you. In 2026, your time will be one of your most valuable assets. Spend it like it matters. Invest it where it grows you. Stop renting your hours to distractions disguised as obligations. Stop giving prime time to things that do not move you forward. Let your schedule reflect your values, not just your availability. When you begin to own your hours, something shifts. Your days feel lighter. Your direction becomes clearer. Time stops slipping away and starts aligning with who you are becoming. And one day, when your dreams finally stand tall, you will know why. You gave them space, you gave them time, you chose to let them live.